What is the craziest pop culture convention in the world? It's not San Diego or New York Comic Con. It's not Anime Expo or Dragon Con. A one-day event in Tokyo, Japan that showcases the most incredible model kits, garage kits, and action figures with the most detailed craftsmanship and creativity you'll ever see. So join me for a walkthrough of Wonder Festival Tokyo. I was just recently in Tokyo, Japan, and I was thrilled to finally attend Wonder Festival. It's a convention that I've been waiting to go to for years. I want to show you the creativity and ingenuity and craftsmanship of the people exhibiting at Wonder Festival. Now I'm going to break this video up into 4 parts. The first part will be the introduction. The second part will be about the history and how Wonder Festival came to be. The third part, you'll probably want to fast forward to. It'll have all the video of all the figures and statues shown at the event. And part 4 will basically wrap it up and kind of give you an idea of how to get there if you want to travel there yourself. I'm definitely going to go back again. So this is kind of like an introduction video for anybody who's never been, who really wants to go to Wonder Festival. Wonder Festival is held twice a year, one in the winter and one in the summer in Tokyo, Japan, at the Makuhari Messe, which is the convention center where the Tokyo Game Show is held every year. So it's a big, big space. The difference between this and say a Comic-Con or an Anime Expo is that it's not about anime, it's not about manga, it's not about comics or movies or anything. It's about sharing the art form of sculpting figures, action figures, model kits, these kind of things. And the real cool thing about it that a lot of people have never heard of before is that it allows for a one-day license. That means if you're an amateur sculptor, you can get a real license for one day of, say, Neon Genesis Evangelion or Attack on Titan or any of these big licenses and sell an original model kit at Wonder Festival. It was snowing the day I went, and that was not going to stop me or the 50,000 other attendees that showed up. Over 2,264 exhibitors showcasing 85 major companies showcasing like Kyoto, Max Factory, 52 Toys, all had booths showcasing their newest stuff. The show starts at 10 a.m. and ends at 5. That's 7 hours, and that's it. The whole thing is over. It can easily have been 3 days for me. There was so much to see. All the video I took was over that amount of time, and I still felt I missed a lot of stuff. It really is a visual marathon for your feet, for your brain, for your eyes. It's just incredible. So how they break it out basically is that it looks like there's like 3 halls altogether. 2 of the 3 halls are dedicated to the garage kits and the more amateurish sculptors out there. And then the 1/3 of it was devoted to the big companies showcasing their newest action figures. You know, I'm sure you've seen photos of it before. They're like these great sculptures. These are like the prototypes that they show off to media and to fans to say what's coming up in 2026 coming. But the main thrust of the event and how it all started was on the garage kits. You'll see the video later, and they're all painted and assembled, but that's not how you get it. That's like the final product. When you buy it, you basically get a box of the pieces, and you have to assemble it and paint it yourself. But these are very limited edition. These are maybe 20, 30, maximum 50 pieces available for one day only. So if you really want to get one of these things, you're going to have to come in very early, line up way before 10 a.m. When I started filming it around noon, a lot of them had sold out already, but a lot of people came in from around Japan to buy a lot of stuff. I saw a whole bunch of suitcases that are probably empty, waiting to get filled up. There's a huge Japan Post section where you can mail the stuff back to yourself. So they're ready for this kind of thing. I mean, it's been around for many, many years. And so obviously they know the needs and demands of a lot of people. Everyone's taking pictures. Everyone is taking video. It is called Wonder Festival, so I felt like it's a lot of excitement around the idea of all these sculptures coming to life, all these fans coming to life. Okay, now a little history on Wonder Festival. They call it One Fest for short. It's held twice a year at Makuhari Messe, which is in Chiba, closer to Narita Airport from Shibuya or Shinjuku. It's about a 1-hour train ride away to get there. It's really where solo artists who are not signed, and it's a way for them to like showcase what they're doing. And they're from everywhere. They're from Osaka, Kyoto, Fukuoka, Sapporo, wherever. They all come in to Tokyo for this one big event. The Wonder Festival started in 1984 as a small size kind of event for a bunch of fans who got together, and the guys who created it starting their own anime company called Gainax. And I'm sure everybody knows who Gainax is, so it's very exciting to see. And then in 1992, Kyoto, which is a huge Japanese manufacturer, I'm sure you've seen a lot of their toys, they took it over in 92 and then kind of blew it up. And then 2009, it moved to this Makuhari Messe. One of the cool things is that it's actually scaled out of Tokyo. There's a Shanghai edition, there's a Seoul edition, and I think there's a Bangkok edition. In this summer of 2026, it's coming to the US as part of another conference called MomoCon, which we'll talk a little bit about later on. So the people who are coming to this are not really just shoppers or families. These are hardcore collectors. I'm walking in, I saw the list, I saw the maps, and I'm just kind of feeling my way around. But there are guys there with like notebooks, and they have a list of the things they want to get to because they're going to sell out fast. So as soon as the doors open, they're running to the booth that they want to buy the statues or the model kits from. So this is a very sophisticated event. There's people like that. There's whales, they call them. There are people who bring in a lot of cash and just buy a lot of these things. And then there's these proxy buyers that have become popular now in Japan. If you want to buy something in Japan, you don't speak Japanese and you don't really have a chance to come out there, you can hire these people to come out, stand in line, you pay them extra money, and they buy the stuff and they ship it out to you. So there's a lot of that going on. I guess the key and the most unique thing about OneFest is the one-day license. Sculptors there, they can apply for a one-day license of legitimately the big licenses. So we're talking Attack on Titan, Frieren, Neon Genesis Evangelion, Street Fighter, Resident Evil, whatever. They're all open. You pay a application fee with the design, and then you wait to see if they approve it, and then you're allowed to make it. But you're only allowed to sell it for one day. So you don't want to make too many, and you want to just make enough for the event. So I think there's like 30, 40, that's what I heard, is like 30, 40 copies of each of these statues are made, and if they're from a successful or famous sculptor, they'll sell out right away. But there's also a lot of people just selling original designs too. See cartoon characters or just robots or just like interesting things that people come up with. You'll see them in the video later, but it's just super interesting to see how much mixture there is. All the famous stuff in Japan had like these specialized figures, and they're like not typical, right? They've got their own styles. They're not set to the anime style guides that you see. So that's, I think, one of the reasons why people like it, because it looks a little bit different than the normal stuff you buy in the stores from the big brands. So I was going to give you a quick overview of the licensing idea. But in Japan, they're very, very strict on the IP, but they also know that the fandom is what builds a lot of these brands. So they work simultaneous with them. But to do so much work for one day is really like intense, I think. All right, so how it works is basically there's like a 1,000 yen application fee. And then how does the licensing deal work? There's a couple ways that it works. Sometimes you'll pay a percentage of the sale. So say you sell your model kit for $100 US, then you owe them like 10% of that. Some of them will just say, pay me an upfront flat fee. Most of these guys are breaking even on the sales of what they're doing, but the idea is that they have the cachet that they've been licensed. And also I'm 100% sure that this is used as a hiring thing for the bigger companies. They're walking around looking at everybody's stuff and getting these sculptors to work for these other companies. I heard the booth fee was around 30,000 yen. So if you add in that with the materials cost, but making these things could be another 50,000 yen, it really adds up the cost. So I feel like the prices they were selling for a lot of these original sculpts was not that expensive for all the added value in it. Okay, I hope that was a cool overview of the whole thing. I'm going to show you this now. This is the Wonder Festival program guide. I'm going to kind of go over it just so you can take a look at the scope. I feel like this really does give a lot more insight of what it looks like. Now we're going to do the walkthrough of the show floor. I tell you, this is only a fraction of the stuff I shot. This video would be hours long, so I just picked some of the stuff I think that impressed me, and I think that you, as maybe a person who's never been to the event, might see and go, oh, this is cool to take a look at all this amazing sculpt. So here we go. Let's take a walkthrough of Wonderfest Winter 2026. So for me, this is my first time ever going to this event. It lived up to every expectation. I expected to see this kind of crazy, amazing stuff. Its creativity exploded. I feel like anybody in a creative space who wants to work in figures or action figures or sculpts needs to come to this show and take a look at it. And just like amazing, the creativity that is coming out of Japan. And so I think definitely you should check it out. It was very easy to get tickets. I bought them online and they were about 3,700 yen, which is about 24 US dollars. And then the interesting thing is you have to go to Lawson's, one of the convenience stores, to pick up the physical ticket and then take that to the event. There's a few other Wonder Festivals outside of Japan, and then notably there's one in Shanghai, China, and this one has over 100,000 people. So this one's even bigger than the one in Japan. And then for those of you who can't make it to Japan or to China, it's coming to the USA in this summer at a conference called MomoCon, which is, I believe, in Atlanta, Georgia. And that's having this summer. So MomoCon is an anime conference. And so they're going to have, I guess, a subset of Wonder Festival there as well. So that wraps it all up. I hope that you get a chance to see Wonder Fest. Let me know what you thought of this video in the comments below. Again, like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.